Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best power forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 16,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Trying to hit 16K by the end of the year, just over 300 subscribers away. We got about half the month to do it. I think it's plenty of time, but I would really appreciate it if y'all do help me hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Going to start off with Jared Vanderbilt, who is super solid at the power forward position. He's a good card. Not quite incredible. I think B tier is very fair. 13K MT for him is an awesome price, but I think the lack of anchor, brick wall, or clamps, three crucial badges, really hurts this card. He doesn't have limitless range. He doesn't have speed boost. He doesn't have anything extra that you wouldn't expect on a power forward. And he's missing a couple things that you really like to see on a power forward. So despite having great stats and badges, pretty good release, being a really good slasher, all that type of stuff, I just don't quite have him any higher than B tier, but he's a great budget card for 13K MT. AD is easily S tier, one of the 2 or 3 best power forwards in the game. Absolutely elite power forward with a very good release, who moves pretty well as well, can shoot very well, very versatile defender on the perimeter and the interior, has great size. Just an incredibly versatile, incredibly good option at the power forward position, and definitely one of the very best power forwards in the entire game. I think you could make the argument that Anthony Davis is the best power forward in the game. I personally wouldn't, but I think you could certainly make that argument. I think Chet Holmgren on this list, considering the guys from kind of other positions that are also power forwards that I'm including, I would say this Chet has to go A tier. As much as I like Chet, and I do think he's a really good card, I just think there's no choice but to put him A tier, to be completely honest at this point. He doesn't, well, the 48 strength is kind of annoying. It's not as big of an issue at this power forward position as it is at center, but it is admittedly still kind of annoying. And he's not a great perimeter defender. He's 77 speed isn't slow, but he's very big. He's 7'1", but he's not fast. I think he's still awesome. I think he's right at the top of A tier, but I don't think I would put him S tier anymore. Same thing with Bosch. Can get every badge. Great card. The best Gauntlet reward of the year. Awesome. Bosch is one of the best things they've done all year. Still love that card. He's still very usable, but I still think he's A tier. Danny Ferry's not very good. Bad release. And defensively, he's not very good either. His badges are good offensively, but as a whole, he's not a very good card. When you compare him to the very best power forwards in the game, which is pretty much what this list is, I think he's one of the worst few. Giannis, I accidentally included both of your versions of Giannis in this list. I'm not going to lie, that was an accident. I'll put them both in S tier, but I really only intended to put one of them. They're basically the same card. Pink Diamond Giannis has slightly better stats, a better free throw, better steal rating, better standing dunk, slightly better mid-range. A couple of small things like that. A couple badges as well. But Diamond Giannis can get every single badge upgraded, whereas the Pink Diamond cannot. So there's a small advantage for both of the cards in that they're both S tier, though, regardless of which one you have. No need to get the Pink Diamond, lock him in, though, if you already have the Diamond, because they're basically, like I said, basically the same card. Hakeem goes S tier as well. He's behind Giannis. He's behind AD, in my opinion, at center, although he has a very solid release. He just doesn't shot create very well at power forward, and I think that's important. But with that being said, he's still awesome. Still does a lot of things really well. He's an elite defender. He's got great size, and he does shoot the ball pretty well, and he's got good speed. He just doesn't have the dribbling ability, but he's definitely S tier. I know we have a lot of S tier guys very early, but we're going to start to have some lower guys. I'd say James Worthy's probably B tier. Good release, great slasher, really good release actually, and very good slasher. The shooting stats aren't quite there to match the release, but defensively, kind of like Vanderbilt, he's missing brick wall, anchor, and clamps, which are pretty important badges, which is one of the things that holds him back and puts him B tier. I think Tatum also probably goes B tier on this list. I'm looking at the guys above him. Honestly, I might even wind up moving Vanderbilt down at some point because we got a lot of good power forwards left to go. But I think Tatum at B tier is fair. He's only 6'8". He's probably better at small forward than power forward. Not an incredible shot creator, but great release, great slasher, and very good defender, although admittedly a little undersized at power forward. Josh Smith stinks. Terrible release and only a 73 ball. I think he's one of the worst, if not the worst, power forwards on this list. Not a big fan. Julius Randle, honestly, is not a bad card at all. I actually think he might even be better than James Worthy and Jared Vanderbilt, considering he's got anchor and brick wall. Doesn't have clamps, but he's a versatile defender. He's athletic. He's a very solid finisher. He shoots the ball pretty well. I know his release is pretty good. He's got good speed. 6'8" at power forward. I think he's better than those guys, and I'm moving them both down to C tier. I'm going to be honest. I think Julius Randle deserves that B tier spot. I'm going to give KD A tier. Gets every badge. 6'10", great shooter. Release is not truly elite, but it's not a bad one at all. It's still pretty good. He's a very good slasher. He's versatile. He can shot create pretty well. I think he's A tier for sure. Don't think he's S tier, but I think he's very good. KG is definitely S tier, easily. Awesome card. I would say he, Giannis, and AD are the 3 best power forwards in the game. I'm going to wind up having 6 cards in S tier, but there really are only 5 in my opinion. S tier players, it's just that there's 2 versions of Giannis. But KG is right there with those guys as the very best power forwards in the game. Can get every badge, which is huge. Kind of like Hakeem struggles as a playmaker, only has a 60 ball handle, which hurts, but everything else about the card is awesome. His release also isn't incredible, and like Hakeem also has kind of a low 3 ball, so there's a couple of flaws with KG, but he's an amazing defender. He's a really good finisher, and he does shoot the ball capably enough well. He has very good speed still. Very, very good card, just a couple of small flaws. Kuzma just is, I think, worse, honestly, than Vanderbilt and Worthy, or maybe about the same. Good offensive card with a good release, but doesn't do much defensively. He's better as a shooter than either of them are, but not quite as good of a slasher, although he's a pretty good slasher as well. But defensively, he's pretty darn mediocre. Not a great card there. Lamar Odom gets every badge just like Chris Bosh does. Another Gauntlet Reward player that can play power forward. Good release at 6'10", pretty athletic. Very solid card. Definitely a good option at A tier, but he is a crappy reward for having to go 12-0 in the sweatiest Unlimited has ever been. Not a big fan of that. So A tier for Lamar Odom, I think, is as best as I could put him for sure. He doesn't deserve to be higher than that anyway. LeBron is S tier simply because he's just so good. Statistically, he's incredible. He's 6'9". He's got a great player build. He can get every badge. I understand he's the smallest guy in S tier by a chunk, but he can compete defensively against these bigger guys because he's just so good and so versatile. I definitely think he deserves an S tier spot. Luol Deng is A tier as well. 6'9", can defend on the interior. He's not a card people really look at as a power forward, but I've started looking at him as a power forward, and I think he can play it at a very high level. Great pick and pop, catch and shoot jump shooter as well with good shooting badges, including limitless range, half catch and shoot corner specialist, and awesome release. So he's actually a really good popper. I really like Luol Deng a lot, and I think he's a really good card. I would put PJ Washington in C tier. I think he's very good as a shooter, but I think he's a little bit undersized. I think he's missing some other areas on the card. There is some stuff to like about PJ Washington, but not a ton. He's not crazy fast. He doesn't really shot create that well. Defensively, he's not great either, but he is a very, very good shooter, and he's an athletic slashing big as well. So I kind of like certain aspects of the card. Siakam, this is a weird list because I feel so top heavy about this whole, like, who would I put B tier? Out of these guys, I think I'm putting Bosh, Siakam, and Chet. Well, no, Chet has to stay. I think Chet stays up here. I think this is how I would do it, honestly. So I'm going to move some guys down like this, I think, because I want to even it out a little bit. And I think I put Kukoc in C, and I think I put PJ in D. I think I do that. This is how it's going to finish out. Siakam, great defensively, good card. But not an elite release, not an incredible shot creator, but capable enough. Kukoc, pretty good as a shot creator, not a very good defender, great release, good offensive card, not quite elite defensively by any means. And overall, I think this is a pretty fair list. Obviously, looks a little lopsided towards the S tier, but that's because I put too many Giannis there. I could really just leave this Giannis out of the equation entirely. I can't take him out, though, apparently. So I'm going to have to leave him in S tier. So with that being said, that is how I would rank the best power forwards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM right now. Let me know what y'all think of my list in the comment section down below. If there's anybody I missed, which I'm sure there is, I always seem to miss somebody, feel free to leave a comment and let me know that as well. Let me know which power forwards y'all are using. So would love to hear from each of y'all. Let's get some comments on this video. And with that being said, that is going to do it for this one. So if y'all did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, leave the comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.